Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back to Is It Kino? I'm your host, Florian Himzel, joined as always by Biggs Bigsaloo.
Yeah, I'm a Bigsy Biggs, and I watched The Solar Opposites. Oh boy, don't you just love that they're calling themselves the Solar Opposites now? Because breaking the fourth wall is so gosh darn cool!
Hey, Florian, let me ask you an unrelated question before we dive into this television program. Do you ever buy eggs?
Yes. Rarely, though.
When you have eggs in the house, where do you store them?
Do I break the fourth wall with the eggs?
Where do you store them in the house?
I put them in the fridge. Don't they go bad if you don't?
I'm glad that you said that because I was reading something and somebody said that only Americans put their eggs in the fridge, and I thought that can't be fucking true. That's got to be a lie. So I'm glad to know that you are fully Americanized over there in Austria.
Yeah, that's right. You really shouldn't ask me anything like that because I probably do it wrong. If
you just do what you see on TV, and all the TV shows you watch are from America.
Yeah, I guess we must have had them in the fridge all along. Yeah.
What color are the eggs that you buy?
I prefer buying the brown ones because the white ones, you can't tell if the peels go in the pan, because they're white.
Okay. Well, now that that's all settled, let's talk about The Solar Opposites, a 2-season cartoon on Hulu. If you have not heard of this show before, don't worry. I was in the same boat. Until Florian told me to watch this about 2 weeks ago, I had literally never heard of it. I had no idea what it was. And to put it simply, this is just Rick and Morty with aliens. Is that too cliche to say? I know everybody compares it to Rick and Morty, but
yeah, no, it's the obvious comparison, really. It's so crazy similar. I think in the first episode, Corvo sounds like almost exactly like Rick as well.
Well, hey, so just to clarify for everybody why we're making this comparison, this show, Solar Opposites, is made by Justin Roiland, who also made Rick and Morty. The guy who voices both Rick and Morty voices the main character in this show. The art style is literally the same. Even the font that they use for the opening text is the fucking same. Yeah. A lot of the voice actors seem to be carries over, and the sense of humor is really pretty much the same too. The only main difference I would say is that this show takes place primarily on Earth, whereas Rick and Morty likes to go off into outer space, which is ironic considering this is about aliens, but they're trapped on Earth.
Yeah, I'm always wondering if they're like... I always wish that there was like a Rick and Morty crossover, but then also I guess that wouldn't really make too much sense. What a shame. I wonder.
Well, do we want to get... Let's get into some controversial takes here, because I'm willing to say after my less than 24-hour binge of both seasons, at first I thought, am I really going to be able to watch 2 seasons of this show in a week? I don't know. And then I ended up watching the entire thing in less than 24 hours. This might be recency bias, Florian, but I'm willing to say Solar Opposites is in fact better than Rick and Morty.
I actually really hate that, because if you look up Solar Opposites, all you're gonna find is like videos of, hey, it's Rick and Morty, but better. But I disagree, because this is just Rick and Morty with more random nonsense happening and lower stakes, and I'm not really that into it. I mean, I think it's still really good.
You watch Rick and Morty for the stakes?
I enjoy the stakes, okay? I like that Rick and Morty go on adventures, and I don't like how Solar Opposites just mess around for like 20 minutes, and then they feel random emotions at the end, and they don't have any logical arcs or anything. I don't know, man.
I think seasons 1 and 2 of Rick and Morty are probably will ultimately be the show's prime. I don't think they're going to get better than that. Unquestionably, Solar Opposites 1 and 2 are better than Rick and Morty 3 and 4. But if we're going to compare Rick and Morty in its prime, then yes, maybe Rick and Morty in its prime is better. But as a whole, I have been a lot more disappointed by Rick and Morty lately than I have been by the Solar Opposites.
Well, yeah, that's easy because you can't be disappointed because you didn't have any you didn't have any hype for it. But I think that even 3 and 4 are better than Solar Opposites.
Ooh, that's gonna be rough to. Okay,
dude, every episode of Rick and Morty is just such an intricate masterpiece, and this show is just like random stuff happening. I'm sorry, but
every episode of seasons 3 and 4 are intricate masterpieces.
I mean, they might. I mean, it contained in itself, yes, but I mean, the overall story maybe of Rick and Morty isn't that great because it is also just a lot of random shit happening. But
yeah,
if they like focused on telling an actual story, I guess it'd be better. But even then, I think Rick and Morty, like each episode, I could watch like 100 times, and I'm like at 10 times now, but probably gonna watch it a lot of times in the end.
Well, I think maybe this might be telling of our preferred methods of fiction, because Solar Opposites, I think, does have more of an overarching storyline and character development from episode to episode, whereas Rick and Morty, it teases a little bit of that, but ultimately Rick and Morty is much more episodic, and you can watch them in any order, and it doesn't matter. I think Solar Opposites, Justin Roiland, instead of having a sophomore slump with his TV shows, he's really buckling down and focusing on the characters and who they are and their growth and the overall story structure from season to season, rather than Rick and Morty that will maybe tease once per season that there is an overarching story, and then they'll forget about it in season 4.
But even then, I actually do prefer continuity a lot more than what Rick and Morty does, which is like my main gripe with the later seasons is that there's just no continuity almost.
Right. That's why I like this show, because I feel like they're building to something big.
I like that in this show, yes, but I feel like the alien parts don't really do that much because it is just random nonsense. Like when
random nonsense. It's the story of these aliens, the ultimate fish out of water. They're from a planet that was destroyed, and they settled on Earth. And now they're trying to fit in with human culture. You get different types of observational humor, whereas Rick is just always nihilistic about everything. We can have these aliens who, they don't have a formed opinion about everything on Earth. They're being introduced to things, they don't understand things, and then they can arrive to whether or not things have value. So I think there's more opportunities with these fish out of water aliens for comedy than just Rick and Morty doing the same thing over and over again.
There's definitely a lot of comedy here, but I guess it doesn't work for me too much, the comedy per se. But I mean, if you're looking at like the season finale, like for example, I guess that's a bit of a spoiler, but if we talk about the season 2 finale, for example, it's just like them trying to get fulfilled the entire time, and that's the finale. I mean, how is that not random nonsense? Like,
it's focused on character. Like, what would specifically make each of these individual characters feel fulfilled? I like that they focus on the characters rather than what is the adventure of the week.
Well, yeah, but I mean, then you don't really have that much of an adventure, or I don't know. Does that really tickle you as a good season finale? To me, like the peak of Solar Opposites is always the wall, like it's always the best episode is the finale from In the Wall, and then the second episode is just the aliens faffing around randomly.
Right, so let's explain what The Wall is, because from what I've read online, most people agree the best segments of this show are from The Wall, and a lot of people say, I don't even like the aliens, the whole show should just be The Wall.
Yeah.
I disagree. I like the aliens plots and The Wall plots. The Wall is probably better, but explain to everybody what The Wall is.
Yeah, so Yumulak basically likes to
Yumulak is the teenage boy alien of the family. You gotta explain this shit.
Okay, well, he likes to shrink people that piss him off, or if they wear a red shirt, and he just puts them in his wall where he has like a huge habitat for them, and they're tiny and they're shrunk down, and they're being oppressed by the Duke, and it's really some cool shit. And the story of what happens in The Wall is so much more interesting than what's happening with the aliens. And then every time you see that the story, it's like every once in a while they pan to the background, and it's just the aliens doing some random stuff that they don't even think is worth explaining, because like most of the time it really wouldn't be. It's so weird how they have this really cool story inside this slightly less cool story.
Yeah, in the wall of the alien children's bedroom, they just have I mean, the entire wall is different little cubes, and they make up these different compartments, and there's hundreds of people in there over time, and you really see the birth and growth of civilization from the ground up. And it starts off kind of like a Mad Max world where everybody's a savage and they're just trying to, take what they can get and hurt other people. And you really get the slow but steady growth of this becoming a functional society with hierarchies, and it's really a great metaphor for society in general. For a show about aliens, this show tells you a lot about human society and how the rich will just abuse and take advantage of the people on the bottom, symbolized literally by, like, the rich people live at the top of the wall and all the poor people are regulated to the bottom. It's the same kind of shit that we see in One Piece and in any other type of story that focuses on society as its own character, really. And the political turmoil and all the things that happen in the wall are always some of the best bits of any episode.
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious because, like, that's such stupid tropes. It's like, the rich people are so terrible, they're gonna oppress us, and then we're gonna rise up. And then in this show, we just have it, and it's just really shrunken down shit where we got, like, one guy having an arrow that's a bow and arrow that's a paperclip and toothpicks, and that's what they're fighting. And then they have this mouse which is like a huge beast of burden to them. Oh god, it's.
And what you call a trope, I just call reality. If you don't think that the most evil people on this earth are the rich people, you might be clouded by your own money.
Oh yeah, you're taking lessons from Reactor now.
It's just the facts of life.
Adrenochrome?
No, man, there's people with billions of dollars in the bank, I'm guessing, are probably major sociopaths and do not have the interests of, I don't know, the 80% of people in poverty around the world at heart at all.
I mean, yeah, being a sociopath might be highly correlated with becoming a billionaire, so I guess that makes sense. But
or developing a game.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, you can't develop a game if you're sane. That's where most of the people go wrong. They're like, I'm going to make games, but I'm sane. This is it. Nope, it's not going to work out.
The best part of the political intrigue is that we have the hero, Tim, who's just a guy with a red shirt. We don't really know anything else about him other than he was in a restaurant wearing a red shirt, and Yumulak decided to shrink him and throw him on the wall.
Yep.
But he becomes the symbol of the revolution inside the wall, and he gets all the people to gather around him, and they declare war against the government being run by this guy called the Duke. And ultimately, after they win the day, we get a great lesson about the true essence of humanity. And Tim, the red shirt revolutionary who defeats the Duke, he decides, I don't know, should we spoil everything?
Yeah, sure.
It turns out there is a way out of the wall. The Duke has a secret exit, and he was using it to get extra resources and supplies other than the candy that the aliens give to everybody. And the red shirt guy decides, outside of this wall, I was nobody. My life sucked. But in here, I'm a fucking hero. And I just vanquished the tyrannical dictator, and I have all the power. Why would I want to leave? Let's cover this up, and I will become the new leader. And I thought that is so great that his life as a 1-inch little shrunken down man inside this wall is so much better than his life outside of it, that he betrays the hundreds of people who are trapped in there with him so that he can be their leader and live the best life he could have lived. I think Tim's character, you could do fucking essays just about this one character in this stupid Justin Roiland cartoon. Like, it's far deeper and more complex of a character than we've ever seen in Rick and Morty, by far.
It doesn't even make sense. Like, he has this really hot revolutionary girlfriend. She's not gonna break up with you because you free everyone, and then he decides to stab her. So, that's just gonna make it really hard to to like be fulfilled after that. He probably would have been way better off if he hadn't done that.
Hey, as far as we are currently in the story, he's gotten away with it.
Well, he is pretty sad though. If you watch him, he always embodies like this deep sadness, I think.
He just has a thick beard. That doesn't make him a sad character. He's like the wise old leader of the Wall. I don't think he's that sad. I think he's just he knows. He's the wisest being in the Wall. He knows what nobody else knows, and he's in charge.
But he had like hot sex with this girl. I don't know if he still does that, you know?
Are you telling me if you were in Tim's position, you would not have done the same thing?
I mean, I don't know.
I could see you being the new dictator of the Wall for sure.
It's pretty tempting. I don't know. I'd probably be too socially awkward to stab the girl, though. I don't know. It's pretty hard. Maybe if I could stab her without anyone knowing. Yeah, maybe. Damn.
He basically did do that.
Yeah, I guess he really pulled it off.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't stab her at all. She just had a gusher.
Yep.
That was so stupid. Yep, that wasn't blood. She just had like a candy in there that splashed goo everywhere.
Well, speaking of that, I love the creativity. You mentioned the bow and arrows would just be like fucking push pins and paper clips and shit. They spent a lot of time thinking about what are things that are tiny, like as big as an inch or around there, that these people would utilize, like everyday household things. How would a new society of tiny people utilize these things to turn them into weapons or houses or clothes or any of that? And it just, like, the level of creativity is beyond what I would expect from a show like this.
Where do they even get those things? Why would the aliens give them like regular household stuff? They could just make like small stuff for them, right?
I imagine it's mostly just the garbage that they have in their pockets at the end of the day, because it's like fucking, paper clips and lint and candy wrappers and stuff.
It doesn't, like, that stuff stays small, so that's not it.
Well, I mean, it's bigger than the people.
No, it stays, it shrinks down with them. They have like a huge pile of
the aliens, the aliens are throwing what's in their pockets into the wall.
Why would they do that? They could kill someone by throwing that stuff in.
No, they have a special compartment that they use to put new people and new things in there without killing anybody.
You really think they're just giving them their chunk? Wow.
Yeah,
like
they are. How else would...
stuff.
Everything in the wall was either given to the people by the aliens, or the Duke snuck it in through the hole in the wall up at the top.
Yeah, I guess so. Wow.
Because how else would anything get in there? And obviously when people get shrunk down, they have stuff in their pockets, but... yeah, that stuff gets shrunk too, so it's not extremely useful.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm just surprised that there's so much random junk. I mean, there wouldn't be that much random junk in my household. So
well, if you had a fucking ant farm of humans, you would probably throw shit in there to them all the time. Just because we don't see it happen doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I imagine, the alien girl is named Jessie, and she seems to like the little pet project, and she's always giving them candy and other things. So it doesn't seem that strange to me.
Yeah, surprised. I mean, I guess she still kind of neglects them, though, considering she just gives them candy. So
well, yeah.
So surprised that she actually would think as far ahead as giving them like random junk to make a society with. Well, I guess probably Yumyul like put most of that there before, I guess.
And I like the ingenuity of they'll like take a candy bar and like dig out the seeds or something and then plant the seeds and be able to grow fruit and stuff. It's just the way that the people in the wall have to reinvent society and get all these comforts of home is, I mean, it's just creative and fun.
Yeah, man, when they eat that strawberry, I really felt like, oh my god, finally they're getting good food. Because in the first episodes, we just have that fat guy being really plagued by diabetes because all they get is candy.
Yeah.
And then, oh my god, such a breath of fresh air having strawberries. And then that woman is like really horny for that strawberry. It's great.
I'm genuinely invested in the story of the wall and how it's going to all play out. Just because, Tim does this whole revolution and then he tricks everybody and takes over himself. But now, and if we're going to keep going into spoilers, then, spoilers away. The Duke, who he defeated, and the woman who he betrayed, it's revealed that they're both still alive. They survived being thrown out of the wall. And, they have to survive as little tiny 1-inch people outside, just in the yard. And it's so funny, the concept of just walking from one side of the yard to the other is treated like the most epic quest in Lord of the Rings or something. It's just so intense, but they're just walking through grass. Any bug that shows up is a giant monster that they have to take on. They get trapped inside of a toy car for a year because there's a possum that's trying to eat them. And it's their journey, or I guess really the woman's journey, to get back inside the wall, and we don't know what she's gonna do. We don't know where this story's gonna go from there, and I'm really excited for season 3.
I mean, stuff like that's pretty common. I mean, you got the Ant Bully or A Bug's Life or like Ant C and all that stuff, so I'm well used to that stuff, but I guess it's still pretty cool.
But this is tied in with political intrigue.
Yeah, that's
and revolutions and overthrowing a tyrannical government and stuff, but it's inside of a fucking bedroom wall.
Yeah, I really love that kind of stuff. It's like one of the main reasons why I like that new Snowpiercer series. It's like that as well. But in this one, I feel like the show would have been better if it was just like only the wall, and we would actually really get to focus on the stories in the wall. And then, because the way it's gonna play out now is just that each finale there's gonna be like some kind of revolution, and then it's gonna change the paradigm. But we never really get
you don't know that.
Experience.
You can't predict a pattern based on 2 seasons.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna overthrow Tim. Come on.
Oh, and then the woman's going to become the new Tim? Come on. They're not going to do the same thing over and over again.
Well, she's going to be good, I guess. Well, I don't know. I mean, she's going to have good intentions, but she's going to have terrible management skills, so I guess...
Technically, Tim has good intentions, too. He's taking care of the people. The wall is much better under his rule than it was with the Duke.
I mean, I think that's... I mean, technically, maybe, but I thought Tim was more, purposely evil, but he was a good leader, so that's why it turned out well. I think it's going to be the opposite with Jessie. She's going to... Wait, no, that's not her name. Fuck. What was her name? Well, anyways, she's going to probably be very idealistic. And
I think her name's Sherry.
Oh, yeah, Sherry. Pretty close, I guess. Yeah, he's going to mess it up when she's going to be leader. I guess it's going to be... Season 3 is going to be her being the leader, and then... Season 4
she's not even... She's still, in the shadows.
No, I mean, it's going to be... It's going to be... She takes over at the end of Season 3.
We'll see. I'm excited to see where it goes.
I mean, I guess what I'd like to see would be that they get along. I hope she rekindles her love with Tim, but I guess that's pretty unlikely.
I don't see that happening after he tried to murder her.
I mean, he is very alluring, he's very persuasive. It could happen.
Yeah, he's just a normal guy with a red shirt and a beard.
Yeah, and he's the father of her child. She definitely wants it, It's gonna happen.
Is there anything else we want to say about the wall, or should we talk a little bit more about the alien half of the show?
I guess it's pretty ironic that they're stuck in an Alien versus Predator playset, considering they're literally captive by aliens. What does that tell us? What great political commentary is that, huh?
That's super deep and sophisticated for sure.
Yeah.
And Justin Roiland probably had a raging hard-on when he came up with that one.
That was a really good episode. I mean, it's crazy. To me, I guess it was still really interesting, the whole Solar Opposites, the whole show. But then, that wall episode is almost... I mean, it's pretty much 10 out of 10. It's the main reason to watch the show for me. It's just...
Yeah, I think both of the... every season, episode 7 is focused entirely on the wall. And both of those episode 7s are 10 out of 10s for sure.
Yeah, they should really mix it up by making it so that the next time it's just going to focus on the wall in the actual finale. And then the aliens become more of a subplot. That's what they should do.
Maybe they will. I mean, they're only 2 seasons in, so you have to set up patterns before you can subvert expectations.
Yeah, maybe Maybe the terraforming will actually happen, and then all that's left of the world will be the wall.
Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
The overarching plot of the alien part of the show is that they're from this faraway planet that gets destroyed by a meteor, and the aliens get paired off with something called a
Pupa.
Yeah, a pupa, just a little cute monster that has the voice of like a 3-year-old girl. I imagine that's supposed to be like the cute mascot of the show, but I have not seen enough of the promotional material to know if they're really shoving the pupa in people's faces.
There was that one episode where she had this really deep masculine voice. Too bad that's not come back. Man, that was cool.
Well, the idea is that these aliens who are seeking refuge are going to all these different planets, and that they're supposed to go to deserted or empty planets, and then the pupa, when it grows to a certain age, will terraform the planet and kill all life on the planet, and then the terraformed planet can grow into a new version of the planet that they all escaped from. And it just so happens that the main characters, the solar opposites, land on Earth, and the main character, voiced by Justin Roiland, who is doing pretty much the same exact voice as Rick. He's an alien scientist, he's super intelligent, and he just wants to fix his spaceship and get the fuck off of Earth. So in a lot of ways, he's very similar to Rick, and you know what? I don't really have a problem with that. He does the voice well, he does the delivery well.
I thought he sounded more different in the later episodes.
I think if you just played the audio to somebody, they would assume that it's Rick.
Yeah, maybe, I guess.
But this guy's name is Corvo, and I want to go through all 4 of the aliens because in comparing this show to Rick and Morty, I would like to say the alien family, I like a whole lot more than the family in Rick and Morty. I do not give a fuck about Beth or Jerry or whatever, Summer. I really don't care about those characters. But I feel like all 4 of these aliens have their own plots. And I'm not annoyed when they're on screen. They're actually interesting characters, and they have actual motivations and growth throughout the series, unlike, say, Summer? Summer's growth is that she also joins them on adventures now. Oh boy.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess Summer and Bess are not very fleshed out, but I think I like the actual Rick and Morty, well, the play between Rick and Morty a lot more than what we get from these 4.
Yeah, definitely. I'll say Rick and Morty are the best of all of them, but if we're comparing the family dynamics of the 2 shows, the aliens win for sure.
Well, there isn't much family in Rick and Morty, usually.
It's a show about family. That's how they advertised it on Adult Swim. They said it's a show about family.
Wow, well, I don't know. I don't really care that much about how they advertise it. I mean, in the show, they don't really have that much to do. I mean, I guess in the finale, there's a lot more family going on than in the other parts of the show.
I think Rick and Morty focuses on the family a lot more than you might be remembering. Every episode, the whole family's gathered at the fucking dinner table together. Like, it is a show about the family.
What? That can't be every episode. No way.
Basically every episode.
What? I mean, maybe for like 30 seconds, but it can't be that much, can it?
30 seconds out of a 22-minute show, that's a big percentage.
I mean, I think that's way less often. I mean, it's like specifically that one where they get kidnapped from the breakfast table, and then there's that. I mean, obviously the first episode they have it because Rick is just like keeping Morty awake all the time, so they have to set up that. I think it's not that often. I might be wrong.
Well, anyway, let's talk about these new characters a bit. You've got Yum-Yulak, who is like the teenage boy alien, and he's basically just a sociopath. He does not... he's shrinking people and putting them in his wall. But over the course of the series so far, we've been seeing this character genuinely develop a sense of empathy, and he's becoming less hostile and cruel to the world around him as he is influenced by not only the adventures they go on, but just human society. So like, yeah, I can't think of like, does Jerry have an overarching plot line that is even somewhat intricate at all?
Well, it's funny you would say that, actually, because I thought that the whole thing was completely undermined by the fact that they're just complete assholes again in the season 2 finale for no reason. So I really don't see how you're ascribing this many like arcs to them. I mean, he's still putting people in the wall and stuff, and
yeah, but we're only 2 seasons in. I imagine by the end, if anything, he'll let everybody go. Like, you can't have all of your character development immediately. It's gradual.
Well, I don't believe it, because that's not what we got in Rick and Morty. They usually just find a way to go back to that status quo every time. So I think he's just gonna keep messing with everyone's shit all along.
Oh, I disagree. I don't think this show goes back to status quo every episode. I think that even like the family unit itself becomes more and more cohesive as the show goes along.
Yeah, I mean, they do that, sure.
Early on, the 2 adult aliens were just playing, like, they were getting sick of the kids and they were just gonna kill them. They said, fuck it, let's just kill the kids, who cares? And then,
then we have the season 2 finale where they actually do it! Wow, you're so right, they really changed their stripes on that one, don't they?
Yeah, but then we find out that in alien culture, when you die, you just become a tree, and then you're back alive at the end of the day.
Yeah, so they probably just wanted to make him trees so they could be, like, they'd be stuck in their garden. Yeah, you know, when they wanted to kill them. I don't know. I think that I think Rick and Morty had some good arcs with the family.
Yeah, I'm not trying to shit completely on Rick and Morty. I just think that this show does it better.
I really like the fact that she took back Cherry. I think that was actually a fairly good finale, and I actually like how in Rick and Morty he's actually. I really like the latest finale they did. That one really redeemed the season for me a lot, because
what was the season 4 finale?
It was the one where Space Bass came home, and then the finale was that they didn't need Rick as much as he thought they did. He was gonna reveal to them which one was the real Beth, and they're like, "Who cares, man? Get off it!" And then he's left desolate and alone in his garage, and all he's got is Birdman on the wall. And I thought that was pretty good. He's finally had to pay for his sins in some small way. And in this one, they sin, and there was one episode where they paid with the bullet ants, and now in the finale they're back to shitting on the humans. So I don't know. I don't know if they've learned anything. I guess we'll see.
I mean, everything you're saying is hinging on the 1-minute joke at the end of season 2 finale. Like, I'm not gonna discredit 2 seasons worth of character development for one joke at the end of the show.
They were fighting each other to the death in this entire season 2. And
then how did they learn how to be fulfilled? It wasn't by killing each other. They actually had to learn a lesson.
Wow, what a great lesson.
Yeah.
They're gonna stick together and screw the humans. Okay, so does it count or doesn't it?
Well, it's not like the point of the show. Well, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, because the plot of the show is that they're going to terraform the Earth and all of the humans are going to die. So we have to, if that's their plan from the beginning, then the character arc would be, by the end of the show, they decide not to do that. So we're slowly but surely seeing them arrive to that conclusion over the course of the seasons, and I think that they're going to decide that humanity's not so bad after all. We should just live alongside them and not terraform and destroy the planet.
But that's still wrong.
That's what the show's about.
They had that conclusion at the first episode of season 2, where they're going to fly off planet because they didn't want to transform this planet, but Terry messed it up because he had to bring along DVDs. They're never learning anything. They're just like Rick and Morty, just random nonsense, and then at the end they learn a random moral that doesn't make any sense in the end. Wow.
I disagree. I don't think it's as simple and pointless as you say it is. But I guess, people at home could watch it for themselves and let us know in the comments what conclusions they took from the show.
And I guess the main thing is then whether or not the comedy actually works. So, do you usually find everything really funny, or do you ever get moments where the jokes are just painful?
The one painful joke that comes to mind is a season 2 episode about big dick energy. That was probably the least funny joke to me, but generally I think this show is pretty good. The show does, it makes me genuinely laugh out loud pretty often.
Yeah,
but the big dick energy episode I was not a big fan of.
Yeah, that one was pretty cringe. Like, the worst part for me was the season 2 episode 1, where they're gonna take off in the ship, and then they have like a solid 3 minutes of stand-up comedy where they do stupid jokes before they take off on the ship, and it turns out the ship can't take off. And then that was really stupid to me. They're like, hey guys, don't you hate it how the humans say excuse me after they fart? Why don't they say it before they fart? God, I hated that show.
That's a running gag at the beginning of every episode during the opening credits. The opening credits always end with Corvo, the Rick character, going on a mini rant about what he doesn't understand about human society, and some of them are hit or miss, but I think it's just it's fine. He's a super hyper intelligent alien from another planet, so of course he would not understand human customs, and it's observational comedy to point out shit that doesn't make sense.
Well, I usually skip those, actually, so I guess I missed out on those.
What the fuck? That's like skipping the Simpsons intro to you don't want to see what the new couch gag is every episode. You can't skip that shit. It's part of the show.
Why do they show the exact same intro and then just the last 5 seconds is a different skit? Okay. And they're not even that funny, usually. So,
how do you know you skipped them?
I've seen 3 of them, but
oh my fucking god!
But that one's not even by him. That one's by Yamulak, and that makes it even worse because he's got an even more annoying voice. So there you go.
Yeah.
But then after that is the part where they fly to London, right? And then Terry has this idea that they're not going to be called the Solar Opposites. How do you feel about that one?
Wait, you think I would be upset that they're using the title of the show in the show? I don't really care.
Just blatantly breaking the fourth wall. I don't know.
They do that in Rick and Morty. When Rick says, oh yeah, Rick and Morty,
that's
4 more seasons, 100 more adventures, Morty. We're gonna have a movie, Morty. It's the same fucking shit.
Except for the fact that one's Rick, and it's only Rick. But in this one, everyone's doing it.
Who cares? It's the same sense of humor. It's the same writer. It's the same fucking writer.
Are you saying that it's
shows.
okay for random characters to just walk up and then break the fourth wall?
Yes, it's a cartoon.
Well, I disagree, and this is one big gripe that I have with Rick and Morty and Solar Opposites, where everyone is just constantly breaking the fourth wall. It's like, hey guys, in this episode we're gonna have this arc. Can you stop saying arc? You're not fucking writers. Writers are fucking stupid. Why would anyone talk like writers? That doesn't make any sense. Who cares if there's gonna be an arc in this episode?
I disagree. I like that stuff. I like the meta commentary where the characters are talking about how they're having personal growth, and we're the solar opposites, baby. Another solar opposites. It's the same thing as Rick and Morty. I think it's funny. I like it. It's like Community. Community did all that shit too, and that wasn't even Justin Roiland. It's just that's why Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon fit so well together, is because they love doing meta commentary throughout their shows.
Yeah, I'm just getting really sick of everyone breaking the fourth wall. I think we should cut down on that. I guess I'm alone.
It's not as often as you're making it sound like. It sounds like you're saying it happens nonstop every episode. I'd say maybe he probably says solar opposites 5 times in the whole show.
Well, yeah, that one, sure, but when they are in the forest and then Yamulek is constantly oh, now we're doing this kind of arc, now we're in this kind of TV show. Really? This is necessary? This is content? Not on my watch.
It's funny. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be a fourth wall break. You could interpret it as these children have been watching TV, and TV shows have arcs, so they're just interpreting the events of their own life as if it's a TV show. It's not like they're saying, hey, Justin Roiland, great job drawing this scene, bucko.
I disagree. No, if you're saying that, then that's worse. because that would be an even worse trope than breaking the fourth wall. Like characters that think that the characters that need to compare themselves to like shows and comics are like the fucking worst.
This feels like a personal attack, Florian.
Is it? Like who?
Me!
Wait.
I compare myself to TV shows all the time.
Well, yeah, but that's fine if you're not a character in a TV show.
I am. I'm a YouTuber. My life is a TV show.
Wait,
we're doing a show right now.
Is this not real? Are we not just friends? Are you uploading this somewhere?
At the beginning of every Is a Kino episode, we break the fourth wall by introducing ourselves as people we are not. Like, what is the difference?
It's not breaking the... Okay, maybe that one, but I'm really tired of that. I'm really tired of that joke as well, actually.
Wow, now you're gonna criticize our show.
It's not... I mean, I guess... I thought you were gonna say introducing us is gonna be breaking the fourth wall. Well, that would be silly. Yeah. Damn. Well, I don't know. I think it needs to stop. I think the writers think they're smart, but how about you save that one for when it's really funny? Like breaking the fourth wall. You don't need to do it all the fucking time, okay?
Okay.
Like, there's so many characters that talk unironically about how they're gonna have an arc. Like, really? Is that a thing that you see people do?
We get it. We fucking get it, okay? Can we talk about something else?
Alright, what you got?
Have you ever watched Bob's Burgers?
Yes.
So, did the daughter, Jessie, in this show remind you of the girl with the bunny ears in Bob's Burgers?
Is that the same voice? Could it be?
No, it's not the same voice actress, but my favorite character in Bob's Burgers is the chick with the bunny ears. I don't remember her name because I haven't watched that show for a long time.
The little girl, you mean?
Yeah, she's a chick.
Yeah, well, I guess it's mostly because she's pink, and this one's got a pink dress too. So that's
well,
why
it's just it's more of their attitude. I think their outlook on the world and their bubbly optimism and the brutal sarcasm that they occasionally have. I think that if the character was not inspired, it was unintentionally ripped off a little bit. But at least this is an alien version of that character. And as far as females in these cartoon families go, Jessie wins by far. Better than Meg Griffin, better than fucking Lisa Simpson, better than any of the female characters in Rick and Morty. I think Jessie is the funniest by far.
But is she even female?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Uh-oh.
These aliens are not... Well, these aliens are not gendered, but they chose to be a boy and a girl, so...
They don't have testicles, do they? It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you looking?
No, they mention it repeatedly, that they have, like, a bulge that is just, like, nothing.
Yeah.
No, wait, what did they call it?
I don't remember.
No, they mentioned it. No, yeah, she's pretty good, I guess. She probably is the favorite one, sure.
And then my biggest complaint for the aliens is that the character voiced by Thomas Middleditch, who I do like Thomas Middleditch, and he also did a voice in the Captain Underpants movie, but his character is named Terry. Really? Did we have to do Terry? That sounds so similar to Jerry. You couldn't have named the character anything else, Justin Roiland. Because immediately people are going to assume, oh, okay, so this is the alien. We have the alien version of Rick as Corvo, and this is the alien version of Jerry? But Jerry and Terry are not similar characters, in my opinion. So he did his own character a huge injustice by even putting that comparison in our heads. Name it anything other than Terry is all. That's my main complaint.
I know. To me, Gary and Terry is similar. It's different enough. I know. I guess that's just weird, huh?
Yeah.
They feel like a completely different role, anyways.
Yeah. So you shouldn't have named it a name that rhymes when obviously the show is going to be heavily compared to Rick and Morty.
Should have called him Morty. Yeah.
It'd be like calling him Jordy. Like, we get it. It rhymes with the other show. Do you have any other points you want to make? Any episodes in particular that you want to talk about, good or bad?
I mean, I guess I've rewatched season 1, and I actually didn't realize how much of the wall was actually in there, because I thought it was just gonna be one episode, but they actually have like these really intense moments of the wall spliced in between like the really stupid moments with the aliens. So it's such a weird
the wall
contrast.
is like 1/3 of the show.
Yeah, it
basically.
is. I really thought it was just limited to mostly one episode. Well, it's probably like a fourth, but yeah, I guess that's pretty close. Maybe less.
No, because it's like stuff in the wall is usually the B plot of most episodes. So we in most episodes we get a continuation of the wall subplot.
Yeah, so we got so much time travel as well, but they never fixed the homeworld. That's so weird. Damn, like everything they do is just like so bizarre, and they have all this incredible power, but they never want to change anything too big. Oh no, this isn't going anywhere.
Well, that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about the show. I would say also that it is definitely Kino, and if you have Hulu, you're doing yourself a big disservice not watching this. Again, I binged the entire thing in a day because I loved it so much. I thought it was going to be painful to sit through, but I couldn't get enough, and I genuinely can't wait for season 3.
Well, I'm glad that you liked it, because I guess I'm definitely looking forward to reviewing it. But before season 3, don't you forget that there's gonna be a Christmas special.
Oh, I didn't remember that. I thought it was a joke when they said that.
Well, they said it as a joke, but then they show it on screen. This is not a joke, it's actually happening.
Yeah, I thought that was a joke too. Is it really happening? Is it scheduled?
It's gotta be happening. They have Santa Claus like in bondage and naked, and they slapped his bum. I need to see this now.
Well, I'm reading right now, and it says Hulu reveals a holiday special coming next season. So it might not be until season 3 comes out.
You sure? I feel like
I'm reading it on the wiki right now.
What if by season they mean like the holiday season?
Maybe they do mean this December. I guess it's ambiguous writing on Wikipedia.
I mean, it'd be weird for them to announce it, and then it's like there's gonna be a whole season first, and then it's gonna have half a year, and then it's gonna come out. It's definitely gonna, or maybe it starts the season off. That's what they could have meant. Yeah.
Also, it says also on the wiki, according to Hulu, the series was the #1 most watched show since its debut.
What, on Hulu? Yeah, what's Hulu even?
I mean, Hulu has a lot of stuff.
Really?
Considering I didn't even know that this show existed until like 2 weeks ago, I can't believe this is the most popular show on Hulu. Maybe we're just preaching to the choir. I thought we were going to be introducing a hidden gem, but it seems like everybody already knows about it.
Well, I mean, I saw the first season when it came out, and I didn't know if I should tell anyone about it.
Why, you were ashamed? You thought it'd be another Pickle Rick situation?
Hey, Pickle Rick is the best, okay? Everyone must know it's the funniest shit, okay?
What about you, Florian? Would you say this show is Kino, and who would you recommend it to?
I mean, I think everyone should watch Rick and Morty first, so I guess if you want more, then you should watch Solar Opposites.
Yeah.
I always binge it in the first day, but it's pretty short each season, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, there's only 8 episodes a season, so you could... It's basically... Like, you could watch a full season in way less time than watching, like, the Snyder Cut or The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, you should... It's weird how, even though I don't like the comedy, I still really, like, get hooked on it. I guess it doesn't feel like it has like the stakes in Rick and Morty, even though Rick usually has like infinite power and it doesn't feel like there are stakes. But even then, they still going on real adventures and they have real shit happen to them. And then this one is just really focused on the comedy, and the comedy doesn't really work for me that much. I mean, like, I guess whenever there's like something that feels like it's stand-up comedy, that doesn't work. But I guess the situational comedy that's happening in the show is still usually fairly good. So I guess it's funny that I still end up binging it. But yeah, I think it's probably still about an 8 out of 10. So people should definitely watch it.
So this is one of those rare scenarios where Florian recommended Mumkey a show, Mumkey actually watched it, and then Mumkey liked it way more than Florian did. I can't believe I lived to see the day.
Well, I mean, I probably... Yeah, you're right. I guess that really did happen. You really should watch my recommendations more often. Come on.
What else do you recommend? You tried to make me watch that new Melissa McCarthy movie on Netflix. That was your latest recommendation, so
that was
I'm going to go ahead.
recommendation. I said we should watch it because it's bad, and it'll be a good review, okay? And it's going to be great. I'm going to review it with a Kino Corner, and he's gonna die of cringe. And you should be there. You should listen to us complain about it. No?
Okay. When are you guys recording that?
I think it's around 10 a.m. tomorrow.
If I'm awake, I'll join in, because I've watched the first half of the movie,
yeah,
and I had to turn it off.
Yeah.
Like, I had to stop watching, so I can review the first half, and you guys can tell me how it ended.
I want to know your experience of how you've turned it off, yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible. What is that movie called?
Thunder Force.
Thunder Force, fucking terrible. So I guess tune in next time to hear Florian, Kino, and maybe if I wake up in time, me. So I'm guessing this is going up as an Is It Kino episode, right?
Yep. Everyone get ready for Thunder Force Kino. Yeah. Keep thinking of Thundercats.
Well, Florian, where can people find you online if they want to not hear about the top 10 kinos of 2020 because you still have not made that video?
Yeah, what? Subscribe to my YouTube channel, GameSquid, even though I've been pretty lazy in making videos. I've been focusing on making games, okay? And I bring back videos. Dude,
you have an editor! You have an editor. Just record yourself talking about the movies for 20 minutes and let him make the video. What are we waiting for?
Yeah, one day it'll happen. Don't worry.
We just talked about a TV show for a full hour. How can you not record about these fucking movies?
Dude, if I had to cut this down to me making sentient points, that would be a huge effort, okay?
Well, I don't think you've made a sentient point on the entire podcast.
Exactly.
All the way from episode 1. Yeah,
I'll have to. It'll really be slim pickings, you know. I'll never be able to make any good points this way.
You get so infuriated by my opinions that you just your brain turns into mush.
Well, that's probably the best part, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what people tune in for. They don't care about these stupid fucking movies and TV shows that we like.
Yeah, I know. We really should just podcast more. It doesn't even matter what we talk about. Just watch anything, yeah.
Is that it? Are we done?
Yeah, everyone watch Thunder Force Kino. No, listen to Kino of Thunder Force.
Okay, yeah. That's better.
That's what I meant. Yeah, don't watch Thunder Force, you'll hate it. If you're a cringy YouTube kid, oh god, everyone hates it.